Welcome to another day of Ether Raids. We are taking on another player here, a Yoon player, and we're gonna go with the Gale Force team. Like I said, I'm gonna be using this, hopefully a lot this week, just for the spore of it all, because no Sothis, no way I'm using Sothis, so I gotta compensate for it somehow. So yeah, we're gonna go in with our Gale Force shenanigans and try to get this one wrapped up. I actually just realized, or Lan Luigi pointed out to me in like a couple days after I posted. Actually, no, the same day I posted the video. I was like, there's no audio or no commentary for 11 minutes into the video. I was like, damn, how did that happen? Usually I would watch the video before I upload it just to see what's going on, but make sure everything was recorded properly. But I've been getting super lazy, and also there was a hurricane, so I was kind of not 100% focused on it, so there was that. But my bad. Yeah, I'll try to do better in the future. I don't know, it's kind of weird. In the past, I literally hated the sound of my voice. I guess I still do, but I'm more accustomed to actually just listening back to myself talk now, so it's not the worst thing in the world for me. I used to work in a call center, and man, when they used to replay you those recordings of yourself talking to someone, and you're like, oh my god, who is this person? Do I really sound like that? But yeah, I mean, yeah, after a while you get used to it. So especially with the YouTube thing, when you gotta make the videos, you gotta make sure that the audio is correct and it's good. So I guess you just get used to it after a while. But wow, things like this will happen. I was trying to say these, but it was a real struggle. So things like this will happen from time to time, I guess. That aside, Sigurd's out. Not seeing a lot of people really do too much with him, I guess. His overall power will be determined once we get into next season, Astra Anima, and then in Summoner Duels as well. I guess you'll be seeing him a ton there. But ultimately, I think he is fantastic. He actually does a big number on Ike. I was trying to figure out what is going on. How is he able to just solo Ike like this? When I was just in my first couple of tests, and then I realized, oh, right, this is an AoE. That's what's going on here. I figured it was just I forgot that it was not just a regular special. It's 3 specials in one. So yeah, I started to partner Ike with the Stone Terrain, and then I brought the toe back, and then Ike started to do a lot better in that Sigurd matchup. Not dying, but also not taking out Sigurd in the retaliation as well. So again, but also I was doing a setup that had Becky on the team, so it was kind of not the best matchup for Ike in that regards. But because I was how is the Sigurd so tanky? I mean, he is kind of tanky, but then at the same time, Ike should still be able to do a lot more damage than he was doing. So also, I'm pretty sure that this drop is real, so I gotta set up my team just to counteract the fact that that bull trap above Edelgard is 100% real. I want to avoid that, and then I gotta make another opening for Golvig to go in on, because I'm pretty sure that the trap in front of that Eliwood is real as well. I mean, Roy, I mean, they literally look the same, but yeah, that's what I'm going through right now. But anyways, yeah, he does very well, especially against save balls, because typically with a save ball, either you're running Lumera for the Stone Terrain. I mean, that already gives you a percentage DR. Well, I guess in Astra Anima is probably the best place. If you want to run Sigurd on defense, it's probably going to be on Astra Anima, because of the fact that you don't have Gateau, which cuts the damage from AoEs significantly. But then without the AoE damage protection, he will solo most near saves, even with Shield Fighter, which I found to be pretty interesting. primarily because he knocks them out of their 25% weapon conditions for the majority of them with the AoE damage, especially the ones that are like more geared towards speed. So like your speedy near saves, like Amelia and Grima, he absolutely destroys them just because of the fact that he's hitting, their stats with the AoE, and they won't be able to tank him. The AoE, you really don't want to be tanking AoEs with your near save, because your near save, if they're fast, don't have the highest defense and res, so they're going to be taking a ton of damage from AoE hits, and that's what's going on with the Sigurd matchup in that situation. So they're taking a ton of damage from Sigurd, which means that they are more than likely going to die if something comes in and hits them. Unless you're running like Pavis, you definitely want to run Pavis in that situation, but some of the near saves aren't, or if you have the build set up in a certain way, then you might not be able to hit Pavis. Like, let's say if you're running Shield Fighter, you might not get the Pavis depending on what near save you're using. So it's pretty tricky using Grima right now against Sigurd, Emblem Sigurd, because her defense and res are so low. I mean, I guess you could probably compensate by having enough health to survive, but typically it was hitting her for like 80 with the AoE hit, so I don't know. I don't think you're going to be getting that much on the health spectrum. You probably want to stack some defense on her if possible, but I don't know how you would do that unless you drop her A skill, which I wouldn't recommend because she needs the speed and the stat swings. She gets a ton of stat swings from her A skill as well, so I don't know, man. You can still do it, but it's going to be a ton of damage in Astra Anima, so look out for that matchup. It really just makes it so Gatri and Marnie are now like the two best near saves. Marnie because she's green, Gatri because he just has a ton of defense, and also Marnie has a ton of defense as well. So definitely expect to see those a lot more. Instead of the Grimas, and like I gave Shield Fighter to Corrin, but she is like really bad right now, so I'm just waiting on her refine before I take her like out of hibernation and try to get her back into the swing of thing, because she just doesn't like tank much. Even with the Shield Fighter build, she doesn't do very well against most things. So yeah, I mean, Gatri, Marnie, definitely when you want to look out for those two. There's really no way to really counter them. I guess the bonus is like they're probably not going to take you out because they're not going to hit hard enough, and they don't get the guaranteed follow up to like really make their hits matter. But I guess if you like partner Sigurd with like, let's say, Felix, you could probably do it on defense. If you partner it, set it up like that, you could probably do it. But I feel like I don't know if I said this before, but I feel like I need one more space on defense to just put that extra unit that I need to just make the whole thing work. I feel like we need one more unit on defense. I don't know how they would do that, like a special slot, but we already have a special slot. A special slot that only for dance. I don't know what they would do, but I feel like I need that one more unit on defense just to make sure I can get everything that I need on a defense. But yeah, you could probably make it work with your Sigurd. I highly recommend him for defense. I think he's pretty great there, especially in Astra Anima. I think he will work really well with Becky, with Heather. I think that's a great pairing. And then, one other nuke, whoever that nuke may be. That aside, what else is going on? I was just like earlier checking out, when this is being recorded, I was checking out
Into the Surf.
Chronicles' stream where he plus then his Emblem Sigurd, so that was pretty cool. We had to look at it was a really good stream. We talked about a bunch of stuff, so yeah, there's that. And then I'm gonna check out Joel's stream after this to see what was going on there. It looks like it was a cosplay stream. I don't know, I haven't watched it yet, so we'll see what's going on there. But I've been getting some easier matchups so far. I'm kind of surprised. by some of the matchups that I've gotten. But then also I have to take into consideration that a lot of people came up from the lower tiers. I don't know what it is, but I'm getting some easy matchups, and it's kind of. I'm just gonna take it because, I mean, why would I not? I don't know if I'm gonna make a defensive relay for this one, because whenever I don't run a mythic, I don't feel like I want to like make that a thing. Like the bonus mythic, whenever I don't run, not even running the bonus mythic, whenever I don't run in like the extra mythic, I don't want to make a. Because I don't feel like that's what the defense really should be. You really want to have 2 mythics on your defense, I feel. And I don't like putting that out there without the 2 mythics. So I might not make one for this week. I'll just do like a review. And then, you know, we'll see what happens for Astra Anima.
This will be fun my way.
Anything else going on? Didn't get too lucky on the Sigurd banner. Well, like I feel like I got like a good amount of stuff, but I feel like I missed out on Micaiah.
Who's next?
That's one of the one pickups that I really wanted, but again, I definitely think she'll get reran, so we'll see her on her rerun. But that is it. GG's. See you in the next one. Welcome to another day of Ether Raids. We're taking on a Fjorm player here, and we're going to go with the, I don't know what this team is. The Goldberry team, I guess. I feel like a lot of the teams that I've put together lately have been kind of samey. There's like a frontliner and then a far save, or at least a near save and a far save. I feel like a couple of the other teams are kind of exactly like this. I don't think I have an Omni Tank team for this season, like Dark Season. I think, no, actually there is one Omni Tank team, but that's for a specific niche defense archetype that I haven't come across yet. So I don't know. Maybe I won't be able to use it when this go around, but maybe eventually you guys will get to see it. But here's a Nagi. Again, she is aging fantastically. I think that that AoE damage reduction against Emblem Sigurd comes in really handy for Nagi there, as well as just the overall health that she has. I think she's aging really, really well. I wonder if they're going to give her an ult at some point, because I think she's the only armored dragon that I believe has that combination of effects where she has the damage reduction from AoEs in her weapon. Mer has it in, I think, her C skill, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but Nagi is aging really, really well, especially because she's green. And you can swap out her C skill for just, you know, regular old near save. She's doing very well in that regards. This is a very good combination as well. I'm kind of running the same thing where you know, you really are kind of like, in terms of threats on defense, these two are like the common enemies that you're going to be coming across this season in particular, because of Fjorm. I believe it's kind of like the best way to try to get around her is to not deal with her at all, and kind of hoping that, you know, someone will get left out because of 3-space save range. Well, 2-space save range. You're kind of hoping that someone will get left out, depending on the offensive lineup, whether or not they have spaces in the back row. You're kind of hoping for something like that to happen, but it's really a gamble. It's really just hoping that you match into someone that doesn't know what they're doing. Because if you come across like someone who knows how to play the game and is on their game, it's not something that's too difficult to beat, this type of defensive setup, which is kind of the same thing for what I'm running as well. I'm not outspeeding Felix here. Oh, I forgot to move out of the way of Brave Robin. That's what happened there. I lost my speed buffs, and I think I got hit with sabotage as well. I should have moved, which was the whole reason that I moved Thea up. I was supposed to also move Asker below Thea because of the range, the 2-space range Goldmurray ended up getting hit with the Sabotage as well as the Hush Spectrum. One is not as good, but both of them at the same time means that she can no longer outspeed Felix, and also everyone else getting hit with it means that she's not getting the most out of her A skill. So yeah, bad layout for my part there. Costly, bad placements. GG's, you got me. Alright, we're gonna try again. This is R45 tag. Yeah, we're gonna go with a double save team for this one. Unfortunately, I didn't really want to use this team because it doesn't score the highest, but it is what it is. I don't want to get hit with the AoE with any of my other teams, although I do have Breath of Life, and it wouldn't matter for Goldmurray because Goldmurray doesn't have HP conditions in her weapon, which is actually something that's coming in a little bit clutch lately, but I don't think she would have had enough health to then go against Felix, so probably wouldn't have worked out in my favor. So we're double saving it, and yeah, it should be fine. It's going to be a little bit tricky with the terrain here and just trying to avoid the AoE from hitting Grima, but I think I should be able to make it work. Also, she should just outspeed Felix, so there's that as well. I've been doing a ton of testing with trying to get Sigurd onto defense, but I just can't figure out a configuration that would allow him to both get covered by save and also have similar threat range to someone else on the team. It's a little bit tricky to build around him, but I think I could potentially make it work. I just gotta figure it out. I don't think I can do it in Astra Anima because I'm kind of locked into running Heathrun over there in Astra Anima. She's just so good I can't bench her, so that's pretty much eating up one slot on defense. So I don't know. Maybe for Dark Season would probably make the most sense, but then also you have the AoE counters in Light Season, so I don't know if it would really make the most sense for me to put him there, but I don't think I can find a spot for him in Astra Anima. The defense lineup for Astra Anima is kind of full. I think you definitely need either Micaiah or Freyr, just so that you can actually use, if you're running saves, that is, just so that you can actually use your saves, because there's the high possibility that the opponent will run Embla on offense. So I don't like going into a defense. I don't like building a defense without one of those two units being there. And that has been ever since Embla has come into the meta. I've always just had either Micaiah or Freyr on a defense to counteract that. So that's eating up pretty much one spot. So I don't know what I'm going to do with Sigurd. I don't think I really want him on offense. I don't really think I need him. Aside from the fact that he pretty much counters the corner ball meta, because AoEs are one of the big ways that you can beat that type of defensive setup. And especially with how tanky he is in general, unless they're running Gatry or Marnie, he should be able to pretty much take out that type of defensive layout with no problem. Especially even if they're running those two, he can probably get it on, let's say, a follow-up attack if he's able to trigger the AoE again. So I'm not particularly high on. I think we're going to be seeing less of that layout if people start using more. If we start seeing more Emblem Sigurd on offense. Yeah, I feel like it kind of that's kind of crazy that we just started near saving and Sigurd is actually out to pretty much stop us from doing that, which is kind of nuts. Hopefully, people just start to drop the Fatal Smoke because that's the big thing that's making him, just counter the near save meta, because most of the save units that he comes across, he has more defense than them, so the Breath of Life thing doesn't really work in their favor. But then also I tend to forget that it's an AoE, so if you have some type of AoE protection, then maybe can work out for you. But yeah, he kind of counters the near save thing, so I don't know, man. That is actually kind of crazy that we literally just got Shield Fighter and we also now have a counter to the near save version of it, so not quite sure how I feel about it. I don't think it really needed to be in the game yet. I would have been fine without it for just a little bit longer. I felt like we could have, let it breathe just a little bit more, but it is what it is. Sigurd is here, and we're gonna have to deal with it. I'm not too high on what's gonna be coming for Halloween. More than likely, traditionally, I don't believe we've gotten a ranged unit for Halloween unless it's like some type of healer, and those typically don't do very well in whatever meta that is currently running in the game. So I'm not looking for anything game breaking from the Halloween banner. Hopefully I'll get to skip it. Last year I think we got Tamara and Halloween Anna, and I didn't pick up either of those really, so hopefully I can skip this one. Typically they put some type of save unit on the Halloween banner, so usually it's a save dragon armor, so maybe that'll be a thing. But I mean, overall, hopefully I can skip that banner. I'm really just not looking to spend any orbs at all for the month of October, if possible. I've spent just way too much on this game in September and August, so I'd love to get a full month where I can just skip some banners, but we'll see how that goes. At least that's my plan. Probably gonna take out Robin here if I can. I feel again, just having the ability to just remove her ice terrain with Lumera kind of lowers her value in at least light season, because I think Lumera is one of the more common mythics that you're going to come across in light season. I've been seeing some Ikes doing some really crazy things on defense, or in my defense replays with Lumera support, and then Creation Pulse is becoming a big thing on Ikes. I've been seeing a ton of that. People are just been, well, not a ton, but a bunch of enough of it to make me think that running Hush Spectrum might not even matter anymore, because the special jump that they're getting, unless you're going to clear all of your debuffs with, let's say, Freer, because Micaiah doesn't get rid of everything. So I guess light season would probably be the best place for that. But yeah, I'm seeing a ton of Creation Pulse on Ikes, so keep that in mind. It is getting really common, and it actually works out very well for him. I would probably you can probably swap out Breath of Life support on Ike for Creation Pulse, but I guess it does make him a little bit more susceptible for AoEs. But the fact that he's consistently getting that special off is and not only that, but you also have Reagan, Nephany, Baby Robin, Brave Robin, so that I can get that Rally Spectrum support anyway, so you don't 100% need the Creation Pulse to make that sort of thing work. So Hush Spectrum versus Ike is kind of losing a ton of value. I feel like you're going to have to start building defensive configurations with units that can actually survive that.
Good morning.
Great Ether from Ike. So you're going to have to start just flat out tank the Great Ether from Ike. And there aren't a lot of ranged units that can actually do that, aside from, let's say, Byleth, Brave, Nurgle, depending on your build, and Fogado. So it's going to be interesting moving forward just to see what's going to happen with Ike and his Great Ether. Because the Hush Spectrum meta is kind of, the Scowl meta is kind of feigning or falling to the wayside, because there are so many more ways to give Ike access to that special now, to his Great Ether, that I feel like Hush Spectrum is losing a ton of value. It's kind of crazy that we've gotten so many of those options to allow or to counter Hush Spectrum now, that it's been so many of them back to back. It's kind of crazy. I didn't expect for us to get this many of them so quickly, and basically making Hush Spectrum lose a ton of value in a couple of months, actually. We got Summer Nerthus, we got the month after month Nephany, and now recently the Reagan. So yeah, that's a couple in a short span of time. I guess they're basically
Let us
saying
go.
you gotta tank that
What's
Great
wrong?
Ether. Which, ironically enough, or
Ready.
to his benefit, or
They will
like
know
Emblem Sigurd can actually just tank the Great Ether with the amount of
Do not
defensive
waver.
bulk that he has, plus
Off I go.
the flat damage reduction from Excel. I've been seeing that come in a really clutch lately, especially on some Felix builds where he's just able to like take 4 damage from a Great Ether from Ike, which is crazy because that's not how that's supposed to go. But yeah, I think that's where we're going to be heading, into a meta where units are just bulky enough to survive things like Great Ether, especially ranged nukes. So that's going to be interesting to see. Ranged nukes surviving
What's
great
wrong?
bulkier range nukes surviving Great Ethers and things like that. So I don't know, man. It's changing. It's changing again. The meta is changing again, and I don't like it. It's good, you know, that it's happening, but I'm not enjoying it. I don't like it. It's too quick. Slow down a little bit. I feel like that's what I ultimately am
for
trying to
you.
say. Give me some time to breathe, you know. But anyways, GG's. See you in the next one.